Hello, my name is Michelle Wingle, and my soul's purpose is to move the planet healing myself and others emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Each Wednesday, I'm sharing simple steps in thinking and feeling and behaving, hoping to create some aha moments. And that's what I'm here to do today. All month long, we are focusing on the physical body, the mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. The physical body is form. It is the cells and the systems that make up our tangible body, and it experiences the physical world. The sensations of the body are speaking a language, and understanding this language is one of the keys to living life whole. Just like feeling pain when you get too close to heat, physical sensations. When the emotional body is feeling an emotion, it is the physical sensations that give us the experience of that emotion. If we feel the sensation of fear in our body, we can get curious about the thoughts we may be having and see at what level we may need to react. When things appear in our physical experience, a message is here or has been here for a long time. And some people call these messages manifestations, or we may talk about manifesting. Words that are similar to manifest, evidencing, or reveal. Manifesting is what I'd like to focus on today. Often we focus on money when we talk about manifesting, and I'm going to have an amazing technique at the end where I'm going to share with you and a little bit to support you in manifesting more money in your life. But first, I want to talk a little bit about why that technique would even work or could even work. I want to try and convince you just enough to open it up for possibility. To begin, I want a connection between connected thoughts and emotions and our world. Viktor Frankl said, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms is to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." If you're not familiar with Viktor Frankl, he was a prisoner in the concentration camps of Nazi Germany. And it is this man that helped to teach me that the reality of things, the physical conditions of life, do not dictate the thoughts and emotions going on inside of me. He also said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom. Whatever our reality is, we could spend time and energy changing it. We could work to change our physical surroundings. We would also still have to change our emotions and thinking toward it. Change on the outside does not mandate change on the inside. This approach is valid. We do it all the time. It's kind of what we think we do. But we could just as easily put the energy toward changing our attitude about our reality. And it really doesn't matter what that is. It only matters how we think and feel about what is. That's the key. I talk about this in my 8-week release class. I'll put a link below. And I have this little example. And we have a huge desire for things. And in this case, in my class, it's losing pounds, or you may say receiving a certain amount of money. And on a scale of 1 to 10, we might scale our desire at a 9, 10, maybe 11 for some. But our belief we can achieve it might scale at a 4 or a 5. And our minds can go right into action, convincing us that our belief needs to be lowered to a 4 or 5. But why? I'm suggesting we try and raising our belief or the mix of thoughts and feelings that we can achieve it up to a 9, 10, or 11. Why not? Instead of lowering our expectations, let's raise our belief. Spending time on feeling better and thinking positively about a situation changes the situation. Our experience is that powerful. On the bottom of my homepage at michellewingle.com, I link to a test known as the ACE study. This study that began in 1998 is revolutionizing health. ACE, or Adverse Childhood Experiences, have become a huge predictor of health in adults. This study found that each type of trauma counts as 1 on a scale of 1 to 10. No matter how many times it occurred, only once or many, it doesn't matter. Trauma for this study is defined as divorce, a traumatic event, addictions in the home, which may include substances or things like pornography or shopping, abuse of all kinds, a mom or dad that has depression or anxiety, or even intensely where you felt afraid. Those are just a few of the questions. People with an ACE score of 4 are twice as likely to be smokers, 7 times as likely to be alcoholic, and 1,200% more likely to commit suicide or try to commit suicide. And those with a high score have more of a chance of they're more likely to be violent. They're more likely to have more marriages or even broken bones or even drug prescriptions. They have more depression, more autoimmune disease. People with a score of 6 or higher are at a risk of their lifespan being shortened by an average of 20 years. And research from epigenetics shows that toxic stress, which I call trauma, can actually change how our genes function, which can lead to long-term changes in all the parts of our bodies and brains. What's more, these changes can be transferred from generation to generation. This is different from a disease being psychological or a belief we have a disease. These are physical changes to the brain and the body. These are feelings that engage the nervous system and literally change the body. This is big. I hope this tangent gets some of your attention, because if we as a society understood that we could change all of our lives for the better. These childhood traumas, which can be big traumas or little t traumas, have other videos where I talk about that, change who we are. This is physiological. This is not just psychological. By the way, time and time again in that study, they proved that these adverse childhood experiences happen in all economic levels, religious groups, races, and geographies. This is all of our problem. The good news is that the therapies that calm the nervous system, like the one I champion, are the paths to avoiding the fate that these studies present. There is a way to heal the nervous system and change the DNA in ourselves and the DNA we pass on. So with that background of experience, I propose that positive experience should have the same effect, but for positive experiences. It only makes sense to me that if negative experiences impact, then positive ones should. That's the idea behind manifesting, is creating positive experiences in a direction that we want our lives to go. And that's why a daily routine of wellness is vital. It is how we manifest aliveness. And when we feel alive, we bring our dreams to life. So shake off a little bit from that heavy we just talked about. And I'm going to lead you through a little experience, a positive experience. And I hope this is a manifesting experience. And you can focus on money. We talked about it. But if there's something else that you'd like to focus on, something else you would like to manifest, then you're free to do that as well. I get comfortable for just a minute. You can close your eyes. And just as we start, take a minute and tune into what you believe you can manifest. So if it's money, what is the amount that just feels doable for you? So notice what feels impossible and notice what feels really easy, and find that line to where you feel comfortable about being able to manifest this much money. Because the more we do it, the more we practice and get positive results, the more we're having these good experiences that can change our lives. So focus on that amount and begin to take some deep breaths and relax. And as you breathe, start to feel and notice the warmth of your heart. And imagine the air not only coming from your mouth or nose, but through your heart. And as you still breathe, breath coming in and out of the top of your head, out of your crown chakra. And in a couple more breaths, feeling the breath come in and out of your heart and in and out of your head, imagine the breath coming in and out of every pore of your body. Notice the lightness of your body as you do this, the tingling, and that we've engaged all the parts of us as we bring into your imagination that number or that thing that you believed you could manifest. And see the numerical number in your mind. And see a lot of that number. See it repeating over and over again. And imagine that that number has a color. Just see it as a color. And allow your imagination to show you all the ways that that color shows up for you in everyday life. See how that color is so familiar for you. And imagine that the number and the color could make a sound. And what sound does that color and number make? Still feeling the breath coming in and out of every pore, the tingling and the feeling of light. Is there a message or within that sound? Imagine that sound going into your ears. See the color going into your eyes. The number implanting in your mind. The sensations filling your body, the feelings are now associated with that number and color. Keep them close. And believe in the ability to connect with that number and color and sound, allowing this number to show up for you through money. You can take as long as you'd like in imagining, even pretending, if you will, what that does for you. But take 3 full body breaths and come back to the present when it feels correct for you.